on Ustream for it to record for me to put up onto YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and make tortillas again for the third time. Yay! Third time's the charm, right? Okay, here we go. We're making a half batch. And that's 4 cups of flour. I'm going to run out of flour here. 3, 4. Okay, 4 cups of flour, and those are cups. We're going to put in some salt here for you. And then we measured this earlier on our first broadcast. Like I said, this is how I measure. I put it into my hand and I measure it that way because that's the way I was taught. So it's a little different every time, but it's roughly a teaspoon for 4 cups of flour. If you're doing a full batch of tortillas, it would be 2 teaspoons. Now, baking powder. And again, I put it in my hand because that's how I was taught. And we measured earlier on the very first broadcast of this. And we found out that it's roughly a tablespoon of baking powder. But it's a little different every time because, like I said, I don't make it with measuring spoons. And let's mix this up a little bit. And get that all mixed. Again, I use my hands to cook because that's the way my grandma taught me. Stay. I have to get my Crisco because that's what we put in it. Oh, vegetable shortening Crisco. And again, I use my hands. Gotta weigh it. But the first time we did the broadcast, we measured it. It was about 1/3 of a cup. So if you're making a full batch, which is 8 cups of flour, you need 2/3 of a cup. We're making a half batch. So again, a half batch of tortillas is 4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and then 1/3 of a cup of shortening. You're going to say, April, this is the same recipe you used for your pie dough. No, it's not. In my pie dough, I do not put baking powder, and there is a lot more shortening in it because it's only 1 cup of flour for 1/3 of a cup of shortening. So it is still a very simple dough. Makes very good tortillas. We still squish the Crisco in the same way. The shortening gets squished in the same way as we do with our pie. You grab the flour around the shortening, you kind of squish it in. With this one, though, you want to keep doing it until you don't really feel the large clumps of shortening anymore. It'll become all incorporated with the flour. Make a well in the center. Get our water. And for 4 cups of flour, it's going to be about 2 cups of water. Could be a little less, could be a little bit more, depending on the moisture and humidity in the air. We've had a lot of rain lately, so ours will probably turn out less. Put some of the water in. You scoop from the sides, lifting at the bottom to get the flour incorporated into the water. We do not knead the dough at this point because that will make it tough. We don't want tough tortillas. We want light, fluffy tortillas, so we don't knead the dough. We lift from the bottom. I need some more water. Add some more water. Lift from the bottom. Once it looks like most of the flour is wet, then we'll start kneading. I'm going to put just a little bit more water in there. See how it goes. I might have it a little too sticky. I hope not. Okay, now that it's forming a ball, we can start kneading it. We don't need to lift from the bottom anymore. Now the flour gets all stuck to this hand, the dough does, because this hand is wet from adding flour or water to the flour. You'll be able to know when it's sticky dough. You'll be able to feel it. It'll feel like touching a glue stick in your hands, which is icky. Ugh. I don't like sticky hands. So let's get this dough made here. And see, we kind of punch it down. And get the dough off of my fingers. Put it back in the pan, bowl, pan, bowl, and knead that all together. We have a pan sitting on the stove. It's on a medium-low heat. It's a griddle like you would use for your pancakes. Again, you want that on a medium-low heat. So about every oven, every stove is different. And I find electric ovens are way different. You always have to adjust and futz with it constantly. So that'll be, on mine, it's about between a 5 and a 3. Okay, now we got it all done. We want to let it rest for 10 minutes because the dough is tired from you punching it all together. Get our other dough out that I already made earlier. Woo! Fresh made dough. And put it down. Usually you cover your dough with saran wrap or wax paper. Some people don't like wax paper. They don't like the paper for years. Other people, they don't like plastic wrap because it's a chemical thing. So if you don't want to cover it with plastic wrap, just remember it's going to get a little dry on the top. We get our dough, squish out some of it, get a ball out of it about the size of an egg. Put it on our surface here. No flour on your surface. Your dough should not be sticky enough to stick to your surface. If it's sticky enough to stick to your surface, you need to add a little bit more flour to it. Not much, just a little bit, because a little flour goes a long way. Okay, and we push that out like that. Roll it with this nice little dowel rolling pin. You can get this at the grocery store. No handles on the sides, because then you push too hard if you have handles on the sides. This one you use the palm of your hands to push it out. Pick it up and turn it so it stays nice and round. Push it out. Pick it up and turn it so it stays nice and round. Push it out. Now it's okay if it doesn't end up round. You're just starting, which is fine. So it's not going to be round the very first time. You'll get there as you continue to make them. You'll figure out how to keep them round. Pick it up. Put it on the pan. Ooh, nice little sizzle there as it gets that hot pan. Now that first one, you don't want to give that to anybody. You want to eat that one yourself because it's the very first one. So it's not going to quite turn out as nice and pretty as all of the other tortillas. After the pan is heated a little bit more, the other tortillas will turn out nicer and prettier. We roll our next one as the first one starts to cook. My pan will hold 4 tortillas at a time. As you put this one on, you want to flip that back one. Oh, I flipped it a little too soon, so we'll flip it back over. Put that one in the back there. Get another ball of dough. Roll it up into a ball. Smush it on your surface there. Roll it out. Turn it. Roll it. Turn it. Roll it. Like this. My sleeve is getting in the way. You should wear short sleeves when you cook. There we go. Mostly round. My daughter made one in Australia. It was pretty funny. There we go. Now we can flip that one, and we'll flip the others as they get ready. And your end product is going to look like this. That's a pretty tortilla there. My dad loves the burnt edges. You don't need burnt edges on your tortilla. Most people just like it lightly golden like that. You get your butter. Slap a little butter on your tortilla here. It's a good little snack. All natural. Tastes great. Rip it in half. Give some to your cameraman. Have some yourself.
Mmm.
Our tortilla.
Good.
Tortillas are great for green chili, beans, soup of any kind, anything that requires bread. Make some tortillas. Tastes great. Add, my kid adds peanut butter, jelly. Put that all on your tortilla. Make huevos rancheros, eggs with green chili. Have that on your tortilla. Use your tortilla as a spoon for any meal that you would want bread with. And those are tortillas. Have a good afternoon and enjoy your tortillas.